It is with saddened hearts that we announce the passing of Beatrice Delaire, also known as Bea, Miss Delaire, or Miss D of Resina, Babonneau. She passed away peacefully at the OKEU Hospital on Wednesday, 22nd May 2024, at the age of 71. Beatrice was a former employee of the Victoria Hospital and the Castries City Council. She was predeceased by her mother, Madeleine St. Edward, née Delaire, of Resina, Babonneau, and father, Pascal Alcindor Louis, also known as Duncan, of Dauphin, Monchy. Left to mourn are her one and only cherished and devoted daughter, who was also her caretaker, Rosemary Delaire of Resina, her two grandchildren, Kezia Robinson and Myron Robinson, two great-grandchildren, Katie Robinson Charles and Kyrone Robinson, her one and only goddaughter, Nurse Brunetta Albert Chico, her surviving biological siblings, brother Gabriel St. Edward, also known as Gabo of Plateau, sisters Estelina Henry, also known as Magato of Babonneau, Mary St. Edward, also known as Yulin of Resina, and Philomene Cherry of Ravin Macock. Nieces, Juliana St. Edward and Julius Dulcie, both of Resina, Marie Chermont of Babonneau, Bertha Smith in the U.S., Rose Hippolyte of Sunny Acres, Chantal St. Edward of Plateau, Sharon in Martinique, Urella, Andrina, Agatha, Maria, Colwyn, Ella, Andrina Melius, and their families of Labourne, Martinique, and the U.S. Nephews, Malcolm Dulcie of Resina and Edwin Henry of Babonneau. Gage, Sevre, Monrose, Ashley, Geest, and their families of Labourne and the U.S. Many grand and great-grand nieces and nephews, including Sharma and Kashama Sharma, Arifa Stewart and Rifa St. Edward, sister-in-law Bertha St. Edward, also known as Irene of Plateau, children and family of deceased brothers, Ernest St. Edward in Trinidad, Alcindor and Seafeld, Joseph, Didas Louis and St. Louis Evans of Labourne, children and family of deceased sisters, Emmeline St. Edward, Ernestina St. Edward and Anne Dulcie, Ades Duncan, Janie Duncan and Celia Clairville, adopted sister and brother Nisha and Frederick Jabates, children of her deceased niece, Eileen Louis, also known as Majo, Natasha, Minerva, Elgifa, Lorma, Elizabeth, children of deceased niece Agatha St. Hill, also known as Zet, Aldra, Paulette, and Daphne, cherished cousin Lambert Nelson. Cousins, children of her deceased uncle Noah Delaire and deceased wife Edna Delaire, who was her godmother, namely Eldrina Delaire, Michael Delaire, Marie Delaire, also known as Lucy, Mary Fuller, also known as Lucina, Dixon Delaire, Rufina Delaire, Sylvester Delaire, and their families, all in the U.S., and George Delaire and family in St. Lucia. Thelma George, Stanford Delaire, Ignatius Delaire, and Joshua Joseph, and their families, all in the U.S. Children of her deceased uncle Sever Delaire, namely Veronica Delaire, Christina Delaire Joseph, Fimba Delaire, Leonard Delaire, Delisha Thomas, Priscilla Gaspar, also known as Maureen, and Judith Delaire Paris and their families. Children of deceased Aunt Pauline Pierre, namely Bernadette, Camilla and Lucy Pierre, all in the U.S., and Bibiana Antoine of Pébouche Babonneau and their families. Children of deceased aunts, Edmis Delaire, Mary Marilaz, Louise Jacob, and Patrick Felix and their families. Children of deceased cousin Edmund Delaire in the U.S., Philomen David, also known as Usil, of Monchy, and Feliciana St. Mark. Cynthia Raphael and Anselm St. Mark and their families of Monasso. Other special cousins, Eustace, Mandela, Christine, Bernadette, Matthew and Randolph Nelson and their families. Myrtle Fontenelle and family. Gracie Chico and family. Irene Delaire and family. Solda in Millet, Christopher Leon Souffrin, Linton and Bertram Delaire of Gara, Irvin Richard, also known as Shorty of Monchy, Isidore and family in Deramo. Cherished family friend, Collins Augustine, also known as Mr. Puel. Special family friends, Chanel Henry and family, Attorney Petra Edith Jeffrey Nelson and family, Tyrone Robinson, proprietor of Tyrone's Record Services and father of her grandchildren. Michael Felicien, Jeffrey Altius, Terry and Dave Eugene. Maggie Albert and family. President of the Senate, Miss Alvina Reynolds, Dr. Virginia Albert Poyet, Parliamentary Representative for Babonneau, Linda Daher of DBS Television, Sebastian Isidore, also known as South, Sarikas Louis, also known as Shadow of Lac-Wamingo, Anne-Marie Bissett, also known as Teacher Florence, Teresa Eugene, who resides in the U.S., Agatha Jules of Otsa, Ma Jean of Monnier, Leander Antoine and Lawson Lord, Ricky Charles and family, neighbors and special friends, Teresa and Leonard Henville, Tovita Wilkie, Michael Anius and family, Willie and family, other friends, Christopher Charmont, Rosemary Nelson, Derek and Ali Daniel, Christine and Leroy John, Stephen Julius, also known as Mankar, Kendo, Alco, Sharp, Teacock, Bath, Bejan, Marilyn Adams and family, Paulina Dennis and family, Payar and family, the doctors and nurses at Victoria Hospital, Tapia, and OKEU who cared for her during her illness. Special mention, Dr. Romael Daniel, Dr. Cavier, Dr. Jeffers, Dr. Benjamin, Dr. Snack, Dr. Nathaniel, Dr. Edgar, all the ward maids at the various hospitals, Angelita, Dr. Daniel's secretary. Persons who assisted with her care, Miss Pam, Berthalia, Lisa and family, Patsy, Shanna, Lesma, Laurencia, Muriel, and Tayo. Coordinator and supervisors of the Elderly Care Program, Miss Karen Vidal, Delphia, Mildred, and Sandra. Left to mourn her loss are the members of the Amethyst SDA Church in Gara. Special mention of the prayer warriors, Sister Sophia, Sister Teresa, Sister Marvel, Sister Popo, Brother Placid, Brother Sam, and Brother William. Also left to mourn are the St. Edward family in Resina, Delaire families, Duncan families, Louis families, Poyot families, Sevre families, all here and abroad. The entire community of Babonneau, many other family, friends, and acquaintances, too numerous to mention. Please note the body of the late Beatrice Delaire can be viewed at Lazarus Funeral Home from 11:30 a.m. to 12 noon. Her body then proceeds to her residence in Resina for viewing from 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Thereafter, the funeral service will commence at 2 p.m. The celebration of life of the late Beatrice Delaire, also known as Bea, Miss Delaire, or Miss D, will be held at the Bethany SDA Church in Kako, Babonneau on Sunday, June 23rd, 2024 at 2 p.m. and the body will be laid to rest at the Babonneau Cemetery. The body is entrusted in the care of Lazarus Funeral Home in Vidbouteille. Bea continue to rest peacefully. Transportation will be provided for persons wishing to attend the funeral service. Please note, bus registration M244 and a coaster will be passing through Labourne. 2 buses and a coaster will be passing through Gara, Lacqua, and Babonneau. 1 coaster will be passing through Plateau and Paybush.